Guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm really sorry that it's been probably almost 2 months now since I last came on. I've had a lot of things going on. First of all, my kids are now out of school, so I've been spending some quality time with them, especially my son, and making some memories with them because, you know, it's what summer holidays are all about. And also I remember looking at my last video, and if I can remember rightly, I basically explained to you guys that I was waiting to try a medication called sodium chromoglycate. It's particularly a medication that is given to people with asthma or with MCAS or MCAD, whatever one you wanted to call it, mast cell activation disorder or mast cell activation condition. And my doctor decided he wanted me to try this because he thought maybe my symptoms were down to allergies or inflammation, and this is a really good anti-allergy, anti-inflammatory type medication. However, the only thing that I noticed that it did was, because obviously it's got sodium in it, it's got salt in it, is it helped with my dizzy spells, which is good, but the only bad side about it was it bloated me to no end, and so I felt like I was about to pop all the time, and it also basically made my ankles and wrists retain water, so I was swelling up a lot, which I swell up anyway, especially around my ankles because of my heart medication. But the medication for the sodium chromoglycate basically swelled me up a little bit more. So I remember last time I spoke to you guys, I was telling you that I was on pureed food and I was hoping to stay on the pureed food while I went on the sodium chromoglycate. I was on the pureed food and then I came off it. I went to go back on feed, and then I got a call saying that the medication had come back in stock. So I went to the hospital the week after, and a couple of times. First I was told it wasn't in stock, then I was told it was. So I collected it and I started it about a week later. By that point I'd already been on a few bottles of feed, but trying to eat in between just because I didn't want to get back used to feeding and then have to go back on food. So I eventually went on to the medication, and I basically stayed on pureed food for a while because I still had some of the ordered food that I'd ordered in, so that I didn't have to worry about it myself, and so I didn't have to ask anybody else to do it for me. I had that in, and I basically kept eating that for maybe about a week, and it wasn't really doing anything, and I thought, you know, we'll see what happens when I try and eat normal foods. So I went on to eating more solid foods to see whether I could notice any difference, and again, no difference. I wasn't even eating that much. I realised after about 2 weeks that I hadn't even had a cup of tea at all, so that was really odd for me because I was originally told don't have a drink with your meal, but I'm one of them people that I can have a cup of tea but then I can't eat, and if I eat I can't have a cup of tea. So in order to stop me from eating less, I was told not to drink at the same time as I was eating, so I didn't, but because I was so full after a few mouthfuls of food, I didn't want that cup of tea, and because my stomach was constantly getting, obviously my bowel was getting 720 mils of water, I just wasn't thirsty. Like, I didn't get thirsty, I didn't get hungry, I was just basically doing what they were telling me to do. I never managed to do the 6 small meals a day that they wanted me on. So they originally wanted me on 3 snacks, 3 meals a day, and just eat a few mouthfuls of each. I couldn't even do 1, let alone 6. So yeah, I didn't do that. So I ended up trying the sodium chromoglycate, like I said. They'd only give me enough for 2 weeks, and they told me that they were expecting a new order in. I went to go and get the new order, it wasn't in stock, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a couple more weeks if I can, just to see whether there's any difference. Anyway, while I was waiting for the new prescription to come through, I ran out of the one that I had, so I decided to try and continue to still eat, to see whether actually the medication actually did do anything, because you never know whether a medication has actually worked or is doing something until after you've stopped taking it. So I stopped taking it because I'd run out, and yeah, I knew straight away like it wasn't doing anything. I still had the same level of nausea, I still had the same level of pain, the bloatedness had gone down, and my ankles had stopped swelling and my wrists had gone down a bit more, and I was like, okay, so that must have been what was causing that. So I spoke to my gastric doctor because I found out that the medication was not in stock, to see whether there was an alternative. I explained that sodium chromoglycate didn't really do anything other than bloat me and cause ankle and wrist extremity swelling, but I was happy to continue taking it for a little bit longer to see whether it would actually kick in and start doing something. However, because it wasn't doing anything overly dramatic to my body, other than making me feel bloated and swelling my ankles and wrists up, so I thought it's not really doing anything, it's not really causing any heart issues or causing any bowel issues or anything like that, so I'm happy to continue taking it to see whether it actually does something to benefit me better. And I got a letter back off my gastric doctor saying, I understand that you've run out of it, I know that the chemists don't have it in, don't worry about it. If it's not doing anything for you, don't worry about collecting the next lot. I'll just see you. We've made an appointment, and now I've got an appointment with him and my dietitian on the 20th of September to figure out where we go from here. In the meantime, I have had now my tube now for almost 4 months, and ideally they usually change it to the opposite side of your face after 6 to 8 weeks. I've had mine in now for 4 months because they can't swap the side. I think it can last for a maximum of 6 months, but ideally they like to change it no later than 12 weeks, which is roughly around 3 months, but I've had mine in now for almost 4, and I don't know whether it's still in the right places or anything like that, because you're not allowed to do pH checks on a nasogastric tube, because by pulling back on a syringe you can actually flip it, so I'm not doing anything with it, I'm just leaving it. But I have been trying in between trying to do feed to try and eat something with fibre in it, so like bananas, oats, porridge, things like that, just to try and help keep things moving along nicely, because my feed doesn't actually have any fibre in it at all. And even then I've had the odd day, like I took my son out the other week, and every single day we were out till past 10 o'clock every single day, and I struggled to even get flushes down my tube, let alone feed. And I was just trying, because there were obviously my brother and my son have to eat, so we were going to like pubs and things like that, so I was just eating a bit of whatever we did at a pub and instantly regressed it because I'd feel sick constantly. My nausea has potentially got a lot worse, not potentially, it has got a lot worse. My pain has got a lot worse, to the point where I'm actually sleeping with a sick bag next to my bed at all times, because of the fact that I feel sick constantly 24/7. I'm still not drinking cups of tea that much. I think I'm having like 1 or 2 drinks of tea a week, maybe the odd coffee in between that, so maybe only having 2 hot drinks a week. The rest of the time I'm doing flushes, so I'm getting majority of the fluids through my flush. My feed, I couldn't get it back up to a full litre of feed a day because I just instantly start feeling sick. I tried it over 10 hours, I tried it over 14.5 hours, I tried it over 12 hours, and no matter what I did, it just made me feel sick. And I was trying to take off the deficit of whatever I was eating, so I started off at around about 750 mils of feed plus 250 calories taken off for the porridge or whatever it was that I was snacking on, and then I couldn't tolerate that because I thought it's only 750 mils, might as well do it over 10 hours, and it didn't work. So I was on 75 mils over 10 hours, then I tried it over 12 hours, then I tried it over 14 hours, and nothing was helping. So I reduced my feed again to 650, did the same with that, still wasn't helping. Then I reduced it to 500, which is what I'm currently taking. I'm currently taking 500 mils over 12.5 hours, which roughly works out 40 mils per hour, over 12.5 hours. And I'm at a medium now where I feel okay, but I'm not getting my full calorie intake. And I am also trying to recondition my body at the same time, because I spent 2019 feeling agoraphobic. I spent 2020 and some of this year in shielded because of the pandemic, and my body is really deconditioned, so my asthma is like 20 times worse. So I'm constantly getting out of breath. I can't use my crutches because my wrists and my shoulders are just not strong enough. Even in gutter motion, they're just not strong enough. My right hip is just impossible. Like, it hurts all the time. I'm sat here now and it's hurting. So I've got MSK appointment for that on the 19th of August. I have so that's a musculoskeletal appointment. I also have a neurosurgery appointment on the 10th, which is next Tuesday. Because of my neck instability, I can't turn my head for more than 5 minutes without getting a severe headache because of pain from my neck radiating into my head. And then that headache will last all day, and then nothing gets rid of it. And then on top of that, I have finally, and I'm so excited about this and I can't wait to share it with you guys, is I have a private appointment for genome testing, for genetic testing. So not only am I going to be asking for testing to see whether we could see what other types of EDS I may or may not have. I'm hoping I don't have any other type other than hypermobility. I just want to make that clear, but I need to find out for the sake of my kids, because there's certain things in my genetic makeup that I found out that lead towards maybe possibly different types of EDS, because we have a maternal auntie that had to have a valve replacement done when she was in her teens. And I know that doesn't mean anything, because some people without any problems have to have valve replacements, and there's a person on my dad's side that hemorrhages so badly that they have to have a blood transfusion every couple of days. But both my mum, my sister and myself have all hemorrhaged and all had terrible periods, so throughout our lives, and we've had hemorrhaging problems and stuff like that. So there's certain things that we need to look at, and there's a hell of a lot of cardiac issues in our family too, in my biological family. So obviously I'm adopted, so I've had to try and find this out. But then at the same time, when I was taken from my family, social services couldn't even find out anything to do with medical histories, to do with my mum's mum or my dad's mum, or his family or her family, and it took until I was 18 for them to even find out that there was spina bifida running in their family. So it was very hard. It took me 4 years to try and find out as much information as I have, and I don't even know whether what I have been told is 100% accurate. It could be more to it. So I don't know. So this is why I want genome testing done, and hopefully that will open up some answers. As I said, there's a lot of cardiac issues running within my biological family too, and I have a heart condition myself, which isn't particularly hereditary, unless it is a certain type. And my eldest daughter has been told that chances are she has a version of what I have, and my brother has also been told that he has a mild form of what I have, and that wouldn't happen unless there was some sort of genetic makeup for it. So another reason why we're wanting some sort of testing done. So that's on the 16th of August, and I'm really excited about it. Obviously, if they do decide to do the testing, it'll be roughly around 6 to 8 weeks later, maybe longer, before I get the results for that. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, I'm really sorry that it's took me so long to get back to you guys. Like I said, I'm back on feed now, trying to eat fibre stuff during the day and then having feed of a night time. And then on top of that, I have a telephone consultation with my dietitian on the 8th of September just to see whether I've got my feed back up to that 1 litre bottle again. But I'm working on it. Excuse me, I got a lot of croakiness in my voice today. And then obviously once all that's been sorted out, she did phone me a few weeks back, and she basically said to me, you know, do you want me to still ring you on that day? And I said yeah. I did tell her what was going on with my feed, and she said, you do know that by what you're doing, you're not going to get your full calorie intake and your full nutritional intake. She said, so just be careful and try and increase it quickly. So far I've not been able to increase it quickly, and I am going to try and get it up, but we'll just have to see what happens in the next month. But yeah, so I will keep you guys posted, and again, I am sorry that it's taken me 2 months to get back to you guys, but thank you for holding out with me. And if you want to know most of the stuff that I do, I'm always on Instagram posting every day or every other day, so you can always follow me on there. I will link it below. I also have a TikTok now, which I can link it, but there's not much on there, to be fair. And I'm not just using TikTok just for health issues, because that's what I use this and my Instagram for. So you know, we'll just see how we go. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Take very good care of yourselves. I know that the restrictions in England now have been lifted, but please just be mindful of other people around you, and wear your mask. If if you're not exempt, please do wear your mask when you can. And yeah, just take care of yourselves and have an enjoyable weekend, and I will speak to you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye guys.